intro music that you just heard is by our guest, a band called Alexis. The song is called Broken Fences. Please stay tuned to the end of the podcast to hear the full version of the song. Thank you. Hi, this is Terry with CU Bands and Fans podcast, where musicians tell their story. My co-host is with us tonight, Zach Woodrup. How are you, Zach?
Pretty good. Good evening.
Good. And our guest on this podcast is a band called Alexis. They are out of Newcastle, Colorado.
That'll do. That's where we're broadcasting.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, we're really excited to have you guys on. And I want to start with introducing yourselves and what you do in the band, what you play, and then we're going to move to how you come up with the name, which I got a feeling I already know. But we'll go ahead and let our listeners know. So let's.
I'm Dave Harding, lead guitar player, vocals.
I'm Dave Reynolds, rhythm guitar player, play acoustic.
I'm Alexis, and I'm the lead singer.
And I'm Billy, and I play bass and sing.
Corey Spagnolo, I do drums.
Awesome. The how'd you get the name? A band called Alexis.
We all were having initial rehearsals, just putting the band together, and we were saying, well, what are we going to call ourselves? And it popped into my head. I just said, a band called Alexis. And it was like, okay, that'll work. And that's
well, that was quick.
That was it.
Yeah. What did you think it was going to be, Terry?
I wasn't sure. I figured it was definitely named after Alexis. The lead vocals, and your vocals are tremendous, outstanding.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I've had the opportunity to listen to quite a bit of your music, actually. And before this podcast, I, of course, went and kind of researched a few things. I'm already subscribed to your YouTube, and added you to our list on Spotify. And I was listening to the song "I've Got You," and these are your songs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, these are our songs.
So, and where did these songs come from? Like "I Got You," where did that derive from? Who writes and who?
Yeah, so "I've Got You" in particular was actually written by a friend of mine that lives in Nashville. She's a singer-songwriter in Nashville, and her name is Danica Ports. And she kind of gave me permission to kind of go through some of her music and see if any of it would work for us. And I came across "I've Got You," and I had recently had my daughter, so it spoke to me in like this really lullaby sort of way, because that's what it is. It's a contemporary lullaby, really. And so we reworked some of the words, and then of course we arranged it to the band, and there you have it. "I've Got You."
Awesome. It's a beautiful song. Yeah, it really is. And before that was Broken Fences, and you're more of a country genre, is that right?
Yeah, it definitely varies. We can lean in all sorts of directions, from, a very hard edge to a soft edge. And some are just, maybe have a tinge of country, and some have a lot of country. So we're very versatile.
So the song "Broken Fences," was that who wrote that?
I wrote that one. Wrote that probably back in 1995.
Oh, goodness.
Wasn't in a band at the time, so we just kind of tossed it around. And when we were looking for something, I brought it up, and we liked it, and so we gave life to it.
Yeah,
it's a song basically about maybe a relationship that's just soured and moving on. That's really what it is.
well, timing is everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got with the right people to bring it to life. And so, do you guys record? Do you go to a studio to record, or do you do your own recording?
We recorded majority of the bass and drums in my garage in Rifle, which is in western Garfield County. And sometimes Dave Harding would email me guitar tracks that would match up to those basic tracks. And I swear, Terry, we've got over 20 guitar tracks on some of these songs, trying out every idea that we had that we could think of because of COVID. We couldn't get together and just jam through ideas.
Right. Oh, so during COVID, you guys had to stay apart as well. You didn't, there wasn't a time where you could come together.
For a while.
For a while, we pushed it here and there.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a YouTube video of just me and Alexis playing.
We were
Yeah.
cautious.
That was right after, that was right at the height of it. That was maybe in January.
March. It was like March.
We're in that age group.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
We
Um,
joke that we should be called Alexis and the grandpas. See, it's funny.
the truth hurts.
Well, I know here in Illinois that during COVID, a lot of the bands that were just getting launched in 2019 and had several gigs booked, of course, couldn't. So most of all of them spent a lot of time in the studio, and they come up with some amazing music. So it was kind of cool that everybody kind of went to the studio or they performed live, on social media or something. So it was interesting watching everybody, maneuver the territory, so to speak, and still stay creative and writing and performing and the live performance was missed greatly. So speaking of performing, what is the music community like there in Colorado? Because we could tell you like how it is in Illinois for a fact, but
Well, it's actually pretty good. I mean, because we're just down from Aspen, so being a high-end ski resort, there's a lot of activity going on, a lot of special events, that kind of a thing. So we get pretty busy, actually.
There's a lot of concerts, during the summer, fall, spring, all the communities around here within hundreds of miles. There's so many events going on. It really is a good place to base out of.
Well, and now, with the pandemic almost over, or over, however you want to look at it, the people are really, No, they really want to go out and enjoy live music again.
yes.
So I think this summer is going to be really quite busy for us. So that's good.
Yeah, you seem to be pretty successful. How long have you been established as a band?
This would be year 6, what?
About 5 years.
Yeah, 5-6 years.
Going in.
Yeah, going into our 6th year. We debuted 2017, the fall of 2017. So we're in year 5. And of course, that first year was very, we didn't really know what we were doing or how we would kind of.
Alexis had never been in a band before. So we were developing material based on what she liked and what we knew how to play.
But she's a natural. She has a history of theater, so she's got an extremely strong voice, and she's a natural. So the hell did you do that? So she's good. She's great.
Yeah, your vocals are really outstanding. I don't know if Zach's had a chance to listen yet or not, but we're definitely
No, I haven't.
we're tagging
I haven't, but I will.
Yeah. We're putting the beginning of your song at the beginning of the podcast, and then we'll play the full song at the end of the podcast. How, Alexis, how did you meet these guys and end up being?
Yeah, it's kind of like a funny mixture of happenings. I was at the time working at a store, and Billy was representing the radio station that the store used to advertise. And the people who owned the store were trying to talk Billy. They knew Billy played the bass and was, connected. And so they were trying to convince him to get me into a band. And then he talked to Corey's wife. It's such a small world, so hopefully you can connect the dots with me. So then he talked to Corey, our drummer's wife, who worked at the Vaudeville with me, which is a place here in town that does live theater. It's like satire, comic relief theater, but there's singing, of course, too. And Becky, who's Corey's wife, told Billy, like, yes, you have to approach her. She'd be amazing. And so then he got Corey on board. And at the time we had spoken to it, we had a different lead guitar player at the time. And then he came in and was like, I've got a few people. If you're interested, let's do it. And I went, okay. So yeah, I'd never done the band thing before. I've done lots of musical theater. I've sang in church since I was 3. And I, of course, I've taken voice lessons since I was very young also. I'm a trained singer. I went to school for music. So I have lots of experience singing, just never in this vein. And this is kind of what I always had wanted to do. So then I approached David, our acoustic guitar player, who I had played with in church. And then he joined the ranks. And then a few years in, we were lucky enough to get David, our current lead guitar player, to decide he finally wanted to play with us. So
what was the hold up there?
David and David,
Yeah.
Fudd and Flash.
Yeah, so we call this David Flash, and I'm Fudd.
So I had just moved back to Colorado from Central Illinois, where I had started the King Tees with Doc and Donnie and Terry, and I had no idea that I would be starting another band in Colorado. And when Brian and Donna said that she could really sing, I was like, oh yeah, where have I ever heard this before? And so when I did talk to Becky, Becky is a great judge of talent, because when Corey and Becky lived in Hollywood, she managed a couple of clubs.
Yeah, she has history of the Viper Room, which was a Central on the Sunset Strip. That's where we met, on the Sunset Strip in the Viper Room, and we was hooked up there. But she has a history of booking and managing all the acts throughout Hollywood, so she knew what was good.
Yeah,
Wow.
so she verified it, and we enlisted these comrades, and the rest is history. We just went down and played a country gig in Austin. I don't think they have enough country bands in Austin, so they invited us to go down and play.
Awesome. That's so you travel. I mean, do you want to travel as a band or no?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If the
Really?
price is right.
Yeah.
How far would you travel? What's your furthest?
Well, so far Austin is the furthest.
You know, Corey has traveled across the United States. He was in a pretty famous band from South Central LA called the Chambers Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you've all got experience with being in a band. And you were with who'd you say you were with here in Central Illinois?
The King Tees.
King Tees.
Shut up. How long?
I started that band with Doc and Terry and Donnie Nelson.
Oh, you're the one that started that band?
Yes.
They're
Wow.
great. I don't think they're playing anymore. Are they?
No, they broke up or
Yeah.
retired. They retired.
Like recently? Like what?
Donnie just had open heart surgery on the 13th.
Oh, wow.
Retirement isn't in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know.
He'll play till the day he dies.
Yeah. So in the King Tees is Doc, and he played with Pork and Havana Ducks.
Yeah, Doc was a legend at my high school. He was like 3 or 4 years ahead of me.
I bet he
And
was.
There was a harmonica player who's just as famous as him, that's a year behind him, Paul Harrington, who lives in Dallas, Texas, another fabulous harmonica player. And then Bruce and Donnie Nelson, we all played with Pork, you know, he was the icon. The last radio interview I did was in '99 with Pork on WHIP. We had just put out a CD,
Mhm.
and he wanted to know all about it. So
Yeah, whip radio. That's
Go ahead.
that is
Yeah.
See, it's so, I love how this is all connected. You know, everybody knows everybody or something about someone or something. But I love that story. I love your connection to Illinois. Do you miss Illinois? Just curious.
Well, I was just back there for a couple of weeks, and the weather absolutely sucked. And I'm so happy to be back here with my friends and family. Where
Shoveling snow.
we just got snow today.
We got better snow here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes on that. You do. If we get snow, it doesn't last very long. We mostly this winter's been so sunless. I mean, I don't remember a winter where we just not had sunshine as often. But anyway, okay. Aside from
50 degrees today.
yeah. So what else were you so you were all in a band with the exception of Alexis, right?
Yeah, Dave Harding was playing in Nashville before he moved to Aspen.
Yeah. It was a long time ago, but yeah. So I've been playing ever since, pretty much. So, but like I was saying, you know, this area being a high-end ski resort, you can actually get away with it. You can do quite well just being a performer and that type of thing. So
Yeah, and I've seen, and I don't know who your photographer is, but you know, kudos, because those photos are just outstanding and excellent. Did you get someone to do your promo photos?
Yeah, the most recent ones, I'm assuming you're talking about the Christmas ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Those were done by a gal named Peggy Wilkie. And she's a friend contact of mine. And so, yes, we did hire someone professional to do those. And
yeah, well, nothing like giving a photographer a shout out. So
yeah,
we're all for
sure.
that. Yeah, they're beautifully done. Yeah. And so according to seeing your videos, since obviously I've not seen you guys live, your videos and stuff, and I read your reviews on your Facebook page, I believe it was, might have been your website, but all the reviews were very positive, and they were kind of exciting to read because you could tell that people really, really enjoyed hearing you guys and being at your shows. And that is pretty much everything. When people actually take time out to review you and your band, because they've had such a good time and they've enjoyed the music so much. Do you guys do covers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of covers.
What kind of covers do you do?
I mean, I would say a lot of rock, a lot of country, some blues, mostly women because I'm the lead singer.
Voice,
so, what fits my image. But you know, if you were to come to a concert, you hear our originals, of course, that we're really proud of, and then that we would love for you to start to learn and memorize. And then you hear Dolly, Miranda, Carrie, Susan Tedeschi, right? Sorry, Susan. Bonnie Ray. So kind of like a lot of stuff that really shaped me as a singer and stuff that I listened to as I grew up, and then stuff that continues to shape how I hear music and respond to it. So yeah, current country all the way back to Patsy Cline and Dolly, and then some rock stuff in there too. So
yeah,
your name male covers too, some of the classics. Yeah,
you're naming some greats there.
We don't do any John Prine, which is funny that you asked that because I just recently had somebody request that. So nothing's out of reach. Like we're very willing to learn.
She had a fellow at our last concert say, ask for Johnny Cash. Yeah, you know, and I don't think that would work.
I mean, you have to understand it's going to be coming out of my mouth, so it's going to sound differently.
Right.
But we've done, like, we do some Brooks and Dunn covers, and
George Strait,
we did George Strait. So
George Strait,
we're not like totally against taking some male, you know, hits and changing them over, but the guys in the band can sing too. So, you know.
Do you play bars or do you mostly play festivals and events and fairs and
there's one premier nightclub that's really close to us that has fantastic sound, house sound man, 21st century light show, and it's called the Warehouse 2565 in Grand Junction. And we've been playing there ever since the band started. And we play there a couple of times a year, and they get us up there to do some openings for some certified stars and some up and coming stars. But most of our work is
Events.
and corporate privates.
Festivals, fairs.
Festivals, yeah.
You know, it's an international resort. People from all over the world come here, and we have something completely different. We have Alexis. We have a girl singer in front of a country rock band.
Yeah, and it just works. You know, to hear you guys, it really works. So, you know, kudos to.
You know, it's funny. Billy and I, excuse me, do the engineering and the mixing and the recordings. And sometimes I'll have Alexis up, you know, and I'm listening. I'll turn around to Billy and I'll just say, I hate her because she's so good, you know. Yeah, she's fun.
She's got a very clean, very, very clean voice and sound, you know. And so, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about with you guys is your upcoming EP that you have coming up. How many songs are on it? When do you expect that to launch? And what is your reach as far as, because you're in Colorado? I come to know you through Billy, and you know, he just kind of like connected me up with that, and I was like, oh yeah, you guys are great. What is your basic reach? Is it just there in Colorado? How do you have someone that books for you, or do you guys book yourself?
Currently, we're booking ourselves. We have ongoing discussions about hiring somebody to help that process. But, you know, we draw maybe a 200-mile circle around Linwood and Newcastle, and that's our reach. You know, you can travel in a day and come home. We do go beyond it sometimes, and of course, digitally, you can go a lot farther now if you can find inroads to get heard. You know, the EP we've been working on for a long time is eight songs, 4 of which were written by people that we know. 3 are original. I wrote 2 of them, and then Corey and I wrote 1 of them. And they're a really mix. I mean, I'm super excited to hear it, because as I listened to it before we sent it, it's you can't peg us. You know, we don't fit in any mold. And I'm a product of the early 70s, and so I kind of felt like, well, this is a really great country rock album. But no one says that word anymore, so I don't know what that means. But to me, that's kind of what it is: country rock, and you know, reminiscent of early country rock 70s. But
I get it, because I'm in the 70s.
Well,
she was still driving her Hot Wheels around.
I was gonna say, you know.
Not in the 70s.
In the 70s, right?
So as far as
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
as far as our reach goes, we have pretty good reach living in Aspen, because there's a lot of industry people that are in and out of here all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, so they're not from just there. They're from everywhere that comes into there.
They're from all around the world. And, you know, not to be name droppers or anything, but people like Mariah Carey have a condo in town, and Glenn Fry and Don Henley lived in Aspen for years and years when I first got there. So, you know, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and Cher and all of those people are part of the fabric of what we grew up with, having been part of this scene for so many years. And now I own a country radio station. So we have a great opportunity to get local airplay Plus, the guy who programs my country station, Pat Welsh, programs the largest country listened radio station in the world, KKGO in LA. So he's going to get a copy of our stuff too.
You know what? You did tell me that before in our conversations. You did tell me that, and it just completely just left
Well,
with everything
I
else
had
going on.
originally wanted to know how you were doing your podcast because I want a link for this to my website for my radio station.
Oh, okay. I can send you the audio files, and I can send you the video in MP3, if that's okay. Yeah, that's fantastic.
that's
I love it.
Reach the concept around that, like nowadays with social media, I think like realistically the reach is kind of like unlimited. I have family, friends, a lot of contacts in Iowa where I grew up, so we're reaching there. I know we are. I know Corey's talked about people that he knows in New Jersey that we're reaching. So as far as like who gets to hear us live, sure, 200 miles. But I think that we're really reaching. I mean, I have people asking for autographed photos from Ohio. So somehow, some way, in the wonderful internet world, we're reaching people all over the country,
That's the beauty.
Exciting. So
That's
the limit.
Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons with so I was getting ready to bring up your Facebook page. Pros and cons with social media. And it sounds like you guys are tapping into more of the cons. You're okay, so you're on
the pros.
yeah. And you're on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, Pandora, iTunes. And we will have that link that you have, which is it's called hearnow.com. So I will link that to the end of this podcast, as well as your Facebook page, YouTube, and all of your social media sites. But there was something I read on your Facebook that I kind of wanted to bring up. But meanwhile, when do you expect to release the new CD?
I think we'll have a copy of it by the end of the month for sure. And we have a gig booked April 15th. So we'll put together a little album release party around that date.
Oh, so that's coming right up. What's the name of this CD going to be, or EP?
Yes.
It's
3 guesses.
It's a self-titled CD, so it's going to be a band called Alexis.
Band called Alexis. Okay,
It'll
great.
sit right in front of ABBA in the record bin.
That's awesome. I wanted to take just a few seconds and read just a few of your reviews that's on your Facebook page. This is from Tammy Cosley. Awesome band with great vocals and musicians. Love the variety. When they say premier band, they mean it. They're the best, most fun and entertaining band I have had the pleasure of listening and dancing to, which is fantastic that they dance. They rival any Nashville band, in my opinion. That's pretty outstanding. Best band in the Valley. What talented musicians, and Alexis' voice is unbelievable. It's a great show. So this is somebody just like put amazing in huge capital letter. Her voice is amazing. The whole band couldn't be any better. That's pretty good reviews. That's pretty outstanding. So as compared to, as you know, Billy, the music scene here, the musician venue ratio is like this. It's there's far more musicians than there are venues that host live music. So how it's probably totally different there because, like you said, you of the area that you live in, with it being resorts and all of that. But when you played here in Illinois, what was your favorite place to play?
Well, Terry, when I got out of high school in '72, that summer I played with Pork and was part of Pork's band that summer. And we were managed by our good buddy Irving Azoff, and he took everyone that he could from Blytham out to Hollywood, and Pork didn't want to go because he was being big in Nashville. So I went down to Southern and went to school down there and ended up moving to Colorado eventually. So my experience, the best place to play was the after hours club in Decatur called Mothers. That was open from like 2 to 6 in the morning, and you bring your own beer and bring your own bottle, and it was that was me at 18 playing with pork in Decatur.
I miss those days
You
coming
miss
out
that.
at sunrise, you know?
Yeah. I bet at 18 that is your favorite place.
You know,
wanted
and then 4 years at SIU Carbondale, and then moving on to Aspen, it was the same sort of thing, except at a graduate school level, because you had John Denver, Jimmy Buffett, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Henley, all those guys, and they just wanted to be regular guys like the guys that I played with in Illinois. There's really no difference other than how you focus your product. And we asked Alexis, what image are we going to project? And she was precise in what she wanted to do. And so we have marketed ourselves and our music around her image. Period.
Perfect. Well, that's well said, because that's indeed, you look at your, yeah.
Marketing is my game.
That's right.
If you look at your website and your Facebook and those photos and stuff, that it's pretty clear, you know, and in the photos and everything that's what you've done. So Alexis, I'm just going to say you're pretty lucky. Not only are you talented and, you know, vibrant and beautiful, and your vocals and everything, you are pretty lucky to be surrounded with these guys.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sure that you treasure that, but I'm just telling you, really treasure that. That's pretty special. And
yeah, I do. These guys, I hope they know that they're pretty special to me. Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, and we luckily get along really well. So I'm really thankful for them in each of their own ways as musicians and as just friends.
yeah, because they've got some experience in music, obviously, some history that's valuable. If you could play anywhere, where would that be?
If I could play anywhere,
Anywhere. If you guys could have a gig anywhere, where would it
I
be?
think it would be pretty cool to headline a concert at Red Rocks.
I kind of thought they're probably going to say Red Rock, but maybe not, because, you know.
I mean, that's what I would say, but I think everybody might feel a little different. I don't know.
I played there once. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I say.
Still the
That had to have been, what a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the rest of you answer that question. Or do you all agree?
Yeah, I agree with that, as being that we're situated in Colorado, but there's so many fantastic venues throughout the country that would be hard to peg a certain one, you know. I've been fortunate to play some great halls, you know, like the Sanger Theater, the Paramount Theater in New Orleans, and things like that. And they're all great, and I'll take any one of them. They're all just fun to do.
Awesome. You guys?
Well, it was 69 years ago today that I was born in Inglewood, California, in what is now the Staples Center. So the hospital I was born in is now where the Staples Center is. So I want to do a gig there.
The Staples Center.
Yeah,
That's
Staples Center. After we win a Grammy.
I love it. Love it. Love it. What about you? Like you, I can't think of your name. What?
You know, I'm a Colorado boy, so I would say Red Rocks is certainly the place that you would like to play. There are some other great theaters in Denver, but you know, Red Rocks is a great outdoor preeminent venue in Colorado. So most bands are super stoked when they get a chance to play there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no matter who it is.
Never forget it, right? So that would be a good lead.
Well, you know, Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Do you know who they are?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They started following us on our page. So I was like, oh my God, I love these guys. And it was the blue check. It was really them. So, because Kevin Costner started following us too, and it was really Kevin Costner. So anyway, I went over and was looking at their page, and because I've still got a cassette tape of them. So I was checking their page out and I made a few comments or whatever, and then went to mind my own business back on my page. And they came over and they said, hey, thanks for, because I shared their page or whatever. And I said something, I don't know, but they were like, hey, thanks for sharing our page. And they were like, we would love to play in Colorado. And I was like, we'll see if we can make that happen for you. I don't know how in any way, but yeah, that would be cool if they could play there. So if you guys could open for anyone, who would it be?
Who would you open for? Boy.
Jimmy Allen. Oh, we already did.
We already did that.
Yeah.
What was his name last concert?
Tracy Bird.
Tracy Bird. Yeah.
We'd like to open for Chris Stapleton.
Yeah,
there you go.
there you go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys be great
I
open.
really prefer to be the headliner, so.
Well, that was going to be my next question.
I didn't want to open for anybody.
Yeah. My next question was, who would you have open for you?
Chris Stapleton. He did the Star Spangled Banner before.
Oh, Ashley McBride.
Right, yeah.
Oh, nice.
We
Yeah.
love Belinda Carlisle, of course. Or my old friend Randy Carlisle. Yeah.
Randy.
Well, you guys, it's been a pleasure. My apologies for I've had some technical difficulties, obviously, for about 20 minutes.
Imagine that.
That was crazy. But anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. I will make sure that we continue to follow you guys and continue to share what you're doing. And I'm all the links to all your music and your videos and all that. We look forward to your newest song. How many songs did you say? 8?
8.
8 big, juicy, fat hits.
Hits.
That's right.
All hits.
Now, how long have you been recording that? How long has it taken you to do these 8 to get them recorded?
I don't want to.
Off and on over the past several years, in between gigs and COVID and everything else. So it's been a little process, but we finally reached the end of the line, and we're ready to release.
We started recording Broken Fences in September of 2019.
Oh goodness. Yeah, that had to have been hard to kind of like sit that out when especially when you started to roll with that.
Well, we actually had enough gigs to breathe extra life into each one of the new songs that came along over the course of the next 4 years, so that we had a sound. We don't know what it is, but we had developed a sound over the course of time that ended up making it onto the tape.
Ideally, the best way for a band is to go out and play all your original material live before you record, which is a great way to go, because the songs breathe life and develop, and then you record them, instead of the opposite, which has been a lot of the way it's been done.
Do you guys have jobs other than this?
Yes.
Yep.
Dave Harding is a professional full-time musician, as a solo artist and a duo artist, and he's in demand for recording sessions around the state.
Nice.
Someone's
Nice.
got to do it. I'll do it.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
And we all try to do our best to just stay focused on this, and it'll pay off.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it gets kind of difficult when you're like Alexis, being younger. I'm just gonna say, I'm not doing an age thing here because I'm as old as you guys. So, but Alexis being younger, I'm sure that she's got, other things that can be very distracting with.
I mean, well, first and foremost, I'm a mom, so.
Well, there it is. Yeah, That
Yeah,
takes
I
a
have
lot.
a 4-year-old and I'm happily married. So wife and mom are my obvious priorities. And then I do work full time. I have a full-time job and I work in human resources. And then I focus as much time as I can to this. So I keep myself plenty busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
She takes full responsibility for booking the band. So
Yeah.
when you come to her with a number, it better be a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, because it takes it just to be a band and to, gel the way you guys do and to have that time and commitment on top of your other, your prioritized commitments in life, those kind of things. But to stick with it like that and to make time for it that's pretty special. Finding that commitment, I think, in each other and to each other is pretty vital for a band to flourish and to continue and that's so. And obviously your husband's very supportive and that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always easy because this does take a lot of my energy and time. So, but yes, he supports what I do. I'm not the only person with a spouse. So there are other spouses that have equal, maybe not equal because Dan seems to think that I spend my whole time, everything. Anyway, I digress.
Thank you.
Let's edit that part out.
Thank you and good night. All right.
But yeah, everybody has spouses. So we rehearse here. This is David's home. And so his wife sacrifices that we're here every week, like, shaking the rafters in here. So everybody has, and it's so true. We've all committed. Our families are committed because of our commitments. And it takes all of us. We travel to Austin and my family comes and family members have come so that I can do this and be a mom and we can incorporate our families so that we can continue to do this and it's not cutting away from being a mom.
Yeah.
So
It's having that support of your spouse or significant other and whatever is so crucial. And if you don't have that, it's just not going to work. It's just not. There's going to be problems and it's going to start to unravel and that kind of thing. So certainly us fans of music appreciate the support system that bands have. And we've always tried to be so supportive of bands by being there or sharing what they got going on or, that kind of thing. Because live music is important. Music is important, period. Music, period. Important.
These guys have no idea what you guys do for live music where I grew up. I mean, I am so proud of what you guys do. That's what lit my fire to want to be a part of this.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Yeah, this kind of happened. And I have had other people ask me, hey, how can I start this? Or I wish we had this where I live in our state. And I'm like, well, I can help you get it launched. But again, talking about commitment, it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of work. And you have to really be passionate about it because there's so many times. I mean, Zach and I are like, there's times that I want to go, I don't want to pay attention to this right now. My creativity is over here and I want to do some photography and some different type of stuff, but you're just hit every single day with messages and email and, can you, will you? And that it's a great thing. It happened. I just took some pictures of a band and I opened the page and I posted them and the rest is history. It just went nuts. And right now, for some reason, our reach and engagement and likes and follows every single day is just blowing through the roof. And we're seeing people that we've never met, on our page and engaging in conversation and that. So it's pretty cool. I mean,
That's
we love
great.
it. We love music. And we love doing the podcast now. That's just an addition to it. I love doing this podcast with you guys that are, well, you know, Billy's like from here originally or played with musicians here. So there's that Illinois, Colorado connection. That's really cool. And like I said, I've listened to you guys. I've heard you. I've seen your photos. I've browsed your pages, and you're just really fantastic. You've got a really fantastic thing going here. We look forward to your EP being released.
Oh, thank
And
you.
Thanks.
We're super excited to have you here.
yeah, definitely keep me in the loop with that. Keep us in the loop with that that we want to know the date it's going to be released, and we want all of it. We want to know all of it. But it's been just an absolute pleasure. It's been exciting talking with you guys. So we're gonna close it out now. Do you got anything else you want to say before?
Bless you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Back at you. All right, so I'm going to end this. You guys hang in there for a minute when I get done recording.
I've been down and broken hearted, but tonight I'm doing fine. Had my pride torn and tattered, and I held it all inside. I ain't saying it was easy. I tried hard to make you mine, but broken fences couldn't hold me. Now I've left your love behind. In this diner drinking coffee, strong enough to clear my mind. Was it me or just another that made you wanna walk that line? I ain't saying it was easy. You made your choice, you took your time. Broken fences couldn't hold me. Now I've left your love behind. I think I'll head on out to Denver. I'll meet a friend and spend some time. I'll take that risk and love